Cash stuffing is one of those money trends that seems to pop up every few years, but lately it's gained serious momentum online. If you've spent any time scrolling through budgeting TikToks or finance YouTube, you've probably seen those aesthetically pleasing videos of people stuffing crisp bills into labeled envelopes. It looks organized, simple, and oddly satisfying. But let's cut through the vibe for a second and ask the real question. Does cash stuffing actually work? And if so, why? At its core, cash stuffing is a physical form of budgeting. Instead of using a digital spreadsheet or relying on your bank's app, you take out your income in cash and divide it into physical envelopes based on different categories. Think groceries, rent, entertainment, savings. Every dollar has a job. You only spend what's in each envelope. When it's gone, it's gone. No swiping your card, no overdrafts, no borrowing from next week's paycheck. It's old school. But for many people, that's exactly why it works. Now, the first thing to understand is that cash stuffing isn't some revolutionary financial trick. It's actually a rebrand of the envelope system, which has been around for decades. But what's made it so popular today is how it combines simplicity, discipline, and a kind of mindfulness that digital banking doesn't always offer. When you physically handle your money, you feel the weight of it. You become more conscious of your spending habits. Every time you pull a $20 bill out of your eating out envelope, you're forced to ask yourself, is this really worth it? There's also something powerful about the visual aspect of it. When you see your money leaving the envelope, it creates a stronger connection between spending and consequences. Unlike digital banking, where your balance can feel abstract or distant, cash stuffing puts the reality of your financial decisions right in front of you. That's why it's especially effective for people who struggle with impulse spending or those who find it hard to stick to a budget on a screen. But let's be honest. Cash stuffing is not for everyone. In a world that's increasingly cashless, carrying physical money can feel inconvenient. Not all bills can be paid in cash. You can't exactly mail your landlord an envelope full of 20s. And if you lose your cash or it gets stolen, there's no fraud protection. It's gone. On top of that, managing envelopes takes effort. You have to withdraw money regularly, label everything, keep track of your expenses manually. It can be a little tedious, especially if you're used to digital tools doing all that for you. So how do you make it work for you without getting overwhelmed? One approach is to hybridize your budget. That means using cash stuffing for variable expenses like groceries, dining out, or personal spending, while keeping fixed expenses like rent and utilities in your bank account. This lets you enjoy the discipline and mindfulness of cash stuffing without trying to force it into every corner of your financial life. It's flexible and realistic, which makes it easier to stick with over time. Another key to success with cash stuffing is knowing your numbers. Before you even pull out the envelopes, you need to have a solid idea of your monthly income and your expenses. That means tracking your spending for a few weeks, setting realistic spending limits, and understanding where your money tends to disappear. The more aware you are of your habits, the more intentional you can be with your envelopes. It's not just about stuffing money randomly. It's about aligning your spending with your goals. Speaking of goals, that's where cash stuffing can really shine. You can create envelopes for savings targets, like an emergency fund, a vacation, or even a new car. Watching those envelopes fill up over time is a powerful motivator. It turns abstract goals into something tangible. And for people who struggle to stay motivated using a spreadsheet or an app, that physical progress can be a game changer. Now let's talk mindset. One of the most underrated benefits of cash stuffing is the psychological shift it creates. Instead of reacting to your bank balance or your bills, you start proactively deciding where your money goes. You go from a passive consumer to an active manager of your finances. That sense of control can boost your confidence, reduce stress, and help you break out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle. It's budgeting, yes, but it's also empowerment. Of course, no system is perfect. One of the downsides of cash stuffing is that it can be hard to track your spending over time. Without digital records, you might lose sight of where your money went or how it changed month to month. That's why some people pair it with a simple budgeting journal. Just a few minutes a week to jot down how much you stuffed, what you spent, and what's left can go a long way in keeping you on track. Again, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. Let's address the elephant in the room. Does it really help you save more money? In many cases, yes. Because you're working within strict limits and you physically feel the impact of every purchase, you're more likely to cut unnecessary spending. You might skip that impulse buy, say no to that extra drink, or cook at home instead of eating out. Those small choices add up. And over the course of a month or a year, they can make a serious dent in your financial goals. We've seen people save thousands using this method. Not because they're earning more, but because they're spending smarter. They're being intentional. They're saying, this is what I have, this is what I'm doing with it, and I'm not going to let it slip through my fingers. That's the real magic of cash stuffing. It's not about the envelopes. It's about the mindset it builds. So if you're someone who feels like your money disappears before the end of the month or like budgeting never seems to stick, cash stuffing might be worth a shot. Start small. Try it for 1 or 2 categories. Test it out for a month. See how it feels. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. That's the first step to taking control of your finances. In the end, cash stuffing works for some and not for others. It depends on your lifestyle, your spending habits, and how willing you are to commit to the process. But if you're tired of feeling disconnected from your money, if you want something more hands-on and visual, then this might just be the tool you've been looking for. Not a trend. Not a gimmick. Just a different way to budget, and maybe a better way to take back your financial peace. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you've tried. We'd love to hear your experience and any tips that helped you make it work. See you in the next one.